One of our training think tank coaches, Mia, has been calling me out to work out with her since she's gotten here.
Probably 20 times, and he always says no. He trains with everybody else, but he won't train with me. So I sent him a formal email requesting his presence here today. And he had to accept because in the staff meeting we had last week, he talked about how he wants to start training and competing more, so he couldn't say no. I knew I had him.
You liar. I've avoided it because I didn't want to get beat, and I figured that she'd beat me in a Metcon. She is preparing for the Clearwater Beach Brawl.
And what is the workout?
3 rounds for time, 20 heavy wall balls. 15 toes to bar, 5 bar muscle ups, 2 rope climbs.
Who's gonna win?
Yeah, for sure. Brandy, are you gonna cheer for me?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember the workout, but probably Mia.
She called me out. I decided to accept the challenge, and you're about to witness me get beat and made fun of.
So I'm
He'll be
competing.
joining us.
Mr. Ruff.
All right, so why am I doing this
So
workout?
Max is doing this workout because I'm competing in Florida next weekend, and this workout is a gymnastics heavy workout that I wanted to practice. And it seemed like a great opportunity to call Max out and make him step out of his comfort zone, his cozy little comfort zone that he lives in, doing movement work in his carpeted office, and compete against me.
So judgmental and mean. But you do see me in the workout doing it, and Mia played mind games with me before we started. We're supposed to start at 10. Then she moved it to 10:10, then 10:05, then she said she was ready at 10, and she tried to throw me off my game.
Because I was training before.
All right, my strategy.
Should we say what the workout is?
Yeah, 3 rounds for time.
20 wall balls, 20 pounds for me, 30 pounds for Max.
What height did you throw it to?
I threw it to 9 feet,
I
and
went to 10, if that matters.
which was confirmed before the workout with the creator of the competition. So I did not cheat. It's not my fault, I'm tall. So 3 rounds of 20 wall balls, 15 toes to bar, 5 bar muscle ups, and 2 rope climbs.
Are y'all going yet?
Yeah, we
we're-
started. So my strategy was, this is the first time I've ever done bar muscle ups in a Metcon, and I was just trying to go as fast as I can to get a lead and see if I could blow Mia up, because I know that her comfort zone is to go slow and steady. And since it's head to head, I didn't really care if I blew up. I mean, I didn't want to lose, but I thought that might be okay. Yeah. So I went unbroken, 8-7, and then 5 unbroken, and then tried to transition quick and get a lead. I think it worked, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, you won out of the first round, and
Yeah.
you did succeed in making me go faster than I wanted to. So before the workout, I said I was going to break my first set of wall balls. My toes to bar, I went 10-5, which was the plan. And then I wanted to do unbroken bar muscle ups throughout the whole workout, which did not happen at all. So one thing I learned was definitely to not try to chase Max out the gate because he's going to slow down eventually anyways. So just stick to my plan.
Yeah, this will be a nice humbling experience for me as a coach since I've
missed the rope.
criticized Travis publicly so many times. We're going to be finishing round 1 in 2 minutes, and if I kept that pace, I almost fell from the rope there. And I did not finish the overall workout in 6 minutes, which means my first round pace was a little hot, but that's all right.
So what would you change for yourself?
If I was racing you again?
Yeah, if you were competing next weekend with this workout, what would you do differently?
I'd have to break the bar muscle ups. They just turned into an absolute disaster after the first round. I think you'll see it after this. I think I failed my first rep. And the following, doing muscle ups after breathing heavy and doing toes to bar, my hand was going from like a full grip, and I was doing my muscle ups like in my fingertips, and I was actually kind of concerned I was gonna pull myself off the bar. So I put my grips on after that. So I think I'd just probably do them I might even just do them in singles for myself. I wouldn't be competitive, but I wouldn't be competitive anyway. But a more important question is, what would you do differently since you have to do this in a competitive setting? I don't.
So I would have started a little more conservative with the wall balls, even though that is my strength in this workout. What I didn't really think about before is that this workout is 4 movements of your arms being over your head, and I think that took a bigger toll on me than I expected. So something that I struggle with in gymnastics movements in workouts is technical composure under fatigue. I have fairly technically strong bar muscle ups when I'm not fatigued, but as soon as fatigue sets in, I start to rush them. I don't let myself open up all the way into my kip. I don't let my feet rise. I don't drive with my hip, and I do pretty much an exaggerated chest to bar, which turns into a chicken wing, and it just gets ugly from there. So for me, I'm gonna focus on slowing down the movement mentally. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I didn't. I think you just ended abruptly. That was the end. Are you about to start your second round of bar muscle ups right now?
I think so.
What do they look like? How would you judge before you see it? How would you judge your technical?
They were rough on this round, and I failed one, which I normally don't fail bar muscle ups. So see how my feet don't come up very high. I start pulling really early.
Yeah, you
and
rotate a little.
I have like no hip drive, and I fail. So
I did a single and was like, whoa, I can't hold on. And then I think I failed this one. Yeah.
Yep. So this is a comment on me needing to be more adaptive during workouts, but I like doing bar muscle ups facing the wall because I can visualize where I need to bring my feet
you
to.
You cheater, you did turn back towards
just
the wall.
Just one, and then I was like, oh crap, I'm not supposed to do that. So I turned back around.
An event where it's in the middle of the floor.
Technically, she DNF'd the workout, and I get an
rep.
automatic win.
Yeah. But anyways, my point was that threw me off, and that's something
comfort cozy zone.
It's not an excuse. I'm critiquing myself for the viewers.
Let's hear some more.
Go ahead, Max.
I forget what we were talking about.
Well, I was talking about composure of skills under fatigue, but apparently that no one cares about what I have to say.
We did also find out after the fact that the time cap on this is 8 minutes. We're at 5:45 right now. She did her first rope climb. I'm slogging through the muscle ups and realizing that this is going to be really difficult to try to catch her.
What is it like knowing that I'm sitting here filming this and that you're either going to have to tell me don't post this or you're going to have to commentate over this? I'm talking to Max.
Me like...
Yeah, is this even in your head at all, or are you just doing the workout?
About, yeah.
Are you sick
while
of
I'm
me
in the
being
workout
here filming everything?
Yeah, well, I think it's just a strange experience because when you're doing a workout and you know the flaws in execution, you know your flaws in movement, and you know you're publicly about to display it, and I have a relationship with my athletes where I come in and I criticize their workouts and we joke around about it, to know that like, how do I do that with myself? Am I like, oh, look at this loser went out too fast, or like, do I joke around? So I thought about it, but I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Just go as fast as possible and then provide whatever criticism and commentary you can that would be valuable for people. I figure there's probably coaches that are at my fitness level that are doing the amount of CrossFit training, which is quite small, that I'm doing. And most of them probably wouldn't post their videos of getting their ass kicked with athletes and coaches in their environment. So I took some positives out of it, but it's probably not my most favorite thing to do.
Getting to finally work out with them and beat them in a workout?
And publicly display it. Did you guys fucking plan this together?
In all honesty, the public part, that's not important to me.
You just
I
get
just
to take
want
the
to work out
victory.
with my friends. I work out by myself in a corner.
That's not true.
Well, not in a corner, but by myself.
That's on you.
What were your breaks here in the Tosa bar?
This is the last set. I think I did 3 sets on the last one. I did 2 sets on the first 2 sets, I believe.
And the wall ball in that round, I missed it.
The wall ball, I did 2 sets. I think I did
Yeah.
12-8 on the last one.
That's what I did too. I kept trying to, I was still mentally in a place where I was like, still aggressive. I was like, you can catch her. You get up there, do 15 Tosa bar unbroken, 5 muscle ups and catch her. And then when I jumped up to do Tosa bar, I was like, all right, my confidence is broken. I can't do this. I can't catch up.
I knew it on the rope climbs
So
that it was
we're-
over.
For your own review, we're time capped.
Yeah.
So she was originally saying, like before we got on camera, that I pulled her out too hot, which was my goal, which ended up backfiring on me, maybe even worse. But when we found out the time cap was 8 minutes, the strategy might actually have to be to go out at a pace where she's playing the time cap as opposed to playing to get the fastest possible overall time. We just did, oh, here's Travis walking by. We did it, and we did it without any time cap. I wish we had a time cap because I would have been done now and not had to have done single muscle
Then you wouldn't
ups.
have gotten all the volume
Yeah,
in and
that's
gotten
true.
better.
Yeah, that's true. I'm so much more fit now.
So yeah, my muscle ups are down to singles chicken wings.
Yeah.
And you mentioned this, how you, on your last set of muscle ups when you finally get there,
Evil. Yeah.
that you were watching the clock and giving yourself some sort of time constraint. And I was actually doing that also. But while I was doing it, I was thinking, man, that's what I had to do during the Open last year. I thought I was past this, and now I'm back to singles,
Yeah.
which is just my least favorite thing.
I don't know if elite athletes experience the same thing because they win so frequently. And I know for myself, like in sports that I was really good at, I don't think I really had a context for what it's like to struggle to get better at things, but I'm not naturally good at any sort of endurance activity. I think my movement quality, if I'm fresh in most skills, is pretty good and I can teach them, but when I have to do things and I'm breathing heavy and I don't have a lot of practice in them, my mind actually becomes a major limitation. Like I failed this muscle up here and I'm like, oh fuck, she's already done. Like I should just rest for 2 minutes. And like you have these thoughts that want to take you into a much more comfortable situation as opposed to like you're trying your hardest, you're failing, you're still getting your ass kicked. So I know for myself, I have to set like little targets to keep my mind engaged because I could break down like these muscle ups. I got to the point where I was like, all right, find the clock and go on the 15 seconds and just try to hold yourself to that no matter. And I think I went like 15, 18, 20, 15, but something to keep me engaged, which that 75 seconds it would have taken to do 5 could have turned into like 4 minutes if I like really, really gave up mentally. So for myself, that was what it is. And there's so much distraction. Like me is like cheering me on. And in my head, I'm like, well, I do want to listen. I do want to respond to that. I do want to go faster, but I'll fail. Like, and then if I start failing muscle ups and I go deeper into fatigue. So a lot of it at this point is just figuring out how to navigate what I have to work with. And I feel like I do that a lot with my more amateur, lower level CrossFitters where we don't really display that frequently. We're usually putting up Travis or Noah or somebody where it's like they're in the cream of the crop. So even when you're criticizing them, you're like, well, they're going so fast that like that's almost unrealistic. But these are the types of battles I think mentally that most people are probably fighting, where you're just like, fuck, what do I do? How do I go faster? It's not the most enjoyable experience, but I like it because it just makes me feel like I get better. Like, I do feel like I try to get out of my comfort zone, but maybe not after the judgment I got from Mia. Critical. Yeah, you're not my friend anymore.
Still waiting to race in the water.
Yeah.
But to your point, that's actually something that I talk about with a lot of particularly my female athletes who are just getting ring muscle ups, bar muscle ups, more advanced gymnastics movements, and they can do them, but in any competition now, even like scaled Wadapalooza this year, they had 10 ring muscle ups at the tail end of a workout, which is a pretty big set for a scaled competition. Scaled or not scaled, I guess intermediate is what it was. That it becomes a skill to learn to pace those movements. Like you should know going into it, in order to do 10 singles, I need to rest this long. So that's something that we do in their training is we figure out, here, I want you to do 10 ring muscle ups for time, film it, and write down every rest interval that you take, and we work on bringing those intervals down. For competition, we also obviously work on being able to do bigger sets of muscle ups, but if you're not at the point where that's realistic, then you gotta learn to pace with what you have.
Yeah. So that's the end. I went 2 minutes first round and 12:44 overall, and you did 2 minute first round, 10-minute overall.
Yeah. So
I guess the last point, just to jump off of what Mia was saying, I think it's been interesting for me to go. Like, I went to compete at the games on a team in 2010, and then on a regional team, or as an individual at regionals in 2011, when the sport was much less mature and less evolved, and then to come back into it and really be coming at it from a completely different perspective, but trying to learn things and apply them in the way that I would coach them to people, and realizing that at every stage of development, it's like a new mountain you have to climb. So you go through those basic progressions where you go like, all right, I'm going to try to get you better at doing 10 reps. So we're going to just accumulate 10 reps in a session. Then we're going to put some time pressure on. You're going to go 1 rep on the 30 seconds, and then we're going to make that down. Then we're going to aim to go 10 unbroken. Then there's an entirely another mountain you have to climb when you have to do it under fatigue, where you're like, all right, well, now you're going to do intervals in it. Then you're going to do it in a Metcon. Then you're going to do it in a Metcon when you're at 180 beats a minute. Then you're going to do it in a Metcon when you can't feel your fingers because you've just done a bunch of grip work and rope climbs and toes to bar. And it is I think for most people, unless you're extremely gifted, that these progressions and these ways of navigating psychological stress and physical stress and a lack of coordination when fatigue comes are really important if you want to have any longevity in getting better, and if you want to learn how to enjoy the process, because you have to learn how to enjoy getting better compared against yourself versus just only thinking about winning and losing, which is kind of the context when I first got into it. It was like, I'm doing this to try to win. And then when winning wasn't really an option, when I was like, I can't really be a games athlete. These guys are smaller, they're more enduring, they have more time to commit to it.
Is that what you call quitting?
Yes.
When winning isn't an option?
But anyway, I don't even know where it was going now that you said that, but I think it's an important mental skill that you have to learn, and something you have to realize that getting better at anything, especially in this sport, requires some sort of incremental progress of getting better, as opposed to thinking of it like all of a sudden you have this skill and then bam, you can put it in a Metcon and feel good doing big unbroken sets. It's just not realistic.
Right. It's like, have you done those outside? Have you done those outside in a bikini where they make you face away so your butt is facing the audience? Oh, Christ.
That's why you stand in the front of the line, which is what I did. You were buffered.
Yeah.
But to sum up what you said, it takes the time it takes.
Yep, and you won. Does that
make
you feel better?
But that's not the point.
It is.
All right.
Hey, Ruff.
Ruff.
Come say bye.
Come on, dude.
Ruff, come here, bud.
Oh, say bye to the peeps.
Hey, buddy.
Say bye to the peeps. Make them wave this way.
Good boy. Good boy. I don't have any treats. I'm sorry.
Peace.